inverted, narcissistic, and most importantly, completely pointless. Come waste an hour of your week with The Starting Block Friday nights Australian time at dlive.tv/The Starting Block. Get in touch with us on Twitter at The Starting Block, no K at the end. Also, subscribe to the show on Apple Podcasts or iTunes by searching for The Starting Block, all one word, or on Podbean at startingblock.podbean.com. Join the blockheads, tuning in their millions, right around the world.
You're listening to The Starting Block on tavshow.com.
The following program is recommended for mature individuals and may contain material unsuitable for morons, cretins, and dishwipes. If you are a moron or a member of the PTL Club, please turn off your radio, because we don't need any more stupid, narrow-minded, pencil-neck geeks who wouldn't know the First Amendment if it came up and bit them on the butt. Thank you.
Okie dokie, roll 'em!
Nothing to rearrange. Sometimes you just get a feeling like you need some kind of change.
Hey, welcome to The Starting Block for another week. Big show as always. We're keeping YouTube safe. We got some hot stove news. We got painting story time. Nice idea and theory. All that and much more. Here on the block. Greeno here from The Starting Block. On behalf of the block, we just wanted to let you all know that we're all in this together. Well, except if you have coronavirus, then stay the fuck away. But in every other situation, we're in it together. To all of you on the front lines, those of you turning a footstool, a wok and a pitchfork into a home gym, those of you who have given your housemates a mental breakdown because you decided lockdown was a great time to learn the keyboard and the only thing you can play after 8 weeks is chopsticks over and over and over again. And those of you who are homeschooling and are now understanding the question you used to harass your maths teacher with of, when the fuck are we ever going to need to know this in the real world, is coming back to bite you on the ass. Just remember, like a 1990s Australian sitcom, we're all in this together. The days may be long, but in times like this, you can rest assured we will be here to waste an hour of your week, Friday nights Australian time, at dlive.tv/The Starting Block. So take care, social distance, whack on a mask, and subscribe to our show on iTunes. It may not cure coronavirus, but it sure will help us with our rankings. And isn't that really the most important thing right now?
Public Radio's loss is tavshow.com's game. You're listening to The Starting Block.
Hey, welcome to The Starting Block for another week. You've got myself, Greeno, and I'm joined by a man who's been labelled as the podcast version of Mel Gibson by co-captain Dave. How are we, sir?
Very good, Greeno. You mean Braveheart then, obviously.
No, anti-Semitic, sir.
Anti-Semitic. Thank you, Greeno. Yes, welcome. Good evening. Good morning, blockheads, millions around the world. I hope you're doing well. Yep, it's been an eventful week, Greeno, to say the least.
Yeah. Eventful week, and look, something we like to do in the show. We're fixers here on the show. We've established it. You know nothing about nothing. I know nothing about nothing. Between us, we generally fix it.
Yep.
You found a way inadvertently this week to fix YouTube.
Yes.
Because apparently your show that you've done once in the last 5.5 months?
Yeah, more or less. Yes. Yeah. Unsafe.
I don't know whether it was anything individually that you specifically did. I think maybe you happened to reference someone who else might have had some hate speech happening.
Yeah.
You put a nice little pun in the title.
Taking
that might have been a bit of a
easy.
red flag. Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
Suddenly, it's not what you did. It's more what other people did. But you referenced what other people did. So suddenly, you're a hater.
Yeah, apparently so, Greeno. And I should be ashamed of myself, clearly. There's
Have
a couple
good hard look at yourself, sir. Have you got a mirror? You got a couple of mirrors. I've been to your house. You got a couple of mirrors. I hope you've looked at each of them this week.
Yeah.
Had a good hard look at yourself and
Think
thought,
about what you did. Yeah.
What could I do to be a safer human?
Yeah. Well, I mean, ironically, it was 12 months ago or thereabouts, we were celebrating the fact that I'd been made a partner on YouTube. Do you remember that?
Correct.
They loved me. They loved me.
You were selling. You were promoting.
Yeah.
You were having cocktails with the owner. Everything was going well.
Me and Suze were doing personal calls, Greeno.
DMs, mate. Just, it was a bit of like chit-chat. You were having coffee talk.
Yeah.
You were talking about what happened to the local sports team in the coffee area. It was good.
That's
It was a
right.
good time, you on YouTube.
Yep. And
Now
now
what
look,
happened?
it's gone to shit, Greeno.
Yeah.
Couple of strikes in the last 2 months. So, yeah, this one, unfortunately, we think it violates our hate speech policy. We've removed the following content from YouTube, taking it easy. For those who don't know, Kanye West was on InfoWars with Alex Jones, and he said a bunch of things about how, let's stop hating on the Nazis, and Hitler did some good things and that kind of thing. And, I was doing my usual thing, I was making fun of everything. That's basically what I do on my show is, make cynical, sarcastic comments about the state of the world. And that was a prime example. And, he's dressed like a home invader. He's wearing a ski mask, right? You can't see his face on the show. It was a clown show. He's doing an impression of Benjamin Netanyahu where he gets a little net and a bottle of Yoo-hoo, right? Netanyahu. And he's going, "Hi, I'm Netanyahu." And everyone's just kind of, it was bizarre.
So your ridiculing was of Yeezy, not kind of like, hey, look, I'm on this guy's side.
It was my ridiculing was of the whole situation, and and basically the point I was making was if you went on social media and saw some of the takes about this, I mean the irony here is, right, I was playing clips that someone else had taken and put up on Twitter, and you know who that someone else was, Greeno?
Probably Sky News.
I can go you much better than that. I was playing clips tweeted out by a journalist at literally, Greeno, get this, the Jewish News Syndicate.
Yeah.
That's what it's fucking called, the Jewish News fucking service or something, right? So it's like, well, so what? You're allowed to play it though. How come you can play? And I figured it out. It's not the content I think they have an issue with. You're only allowed to show it if you're offended by it, which if you think about it is kind of ass backwards, wouldn't you think? Mm-hmm. Because if it's so offensive, why are you showing it in the first place? But no, you can only show it if you're offended by it. I was basically saying, look, how can you be offended by this? It's too silly to be offended by it. It's too ridiculous. Yeah. He's wearing a ski mask. You know what I mean? He's doing Netanyahu impressions. It's a clown show. Yeah. How can you find this offensive, basically? And, that was enough to get me struck with hate speech. So there you go.
Yeah, hate speech. It's interesting though. Look, I've seen a recent scenario similar with YouTube where other comedy shows have taken things off, say, a Fox News or what's another kind of like crazy kind of news show, news station.
Oh, they're all crazy to me. To my perspective,
whatever it may be. Fucking all of them, right? fucked up. But what they do is they play that, they comment on their show, and they're getting strikes.
Yeah.
And I've seen them going, hang on, the original clip is still available on YouTube that you played. However, you playing that clip, commenting on the clip, falls into the hate speech theory. I'm like, well, where's the hate speech? If you're taking something that's already on there and just commenting on that, it puzzles me.
I can tell you something though. Yeah.
Now YouTube demonstrably safer.
Yes, it is. Congratulations, YouTube.
Nice, we've only got 7 listeners now on this show. Your reach is a lot wider. You're at least at 28.
Yes.
So there's 28 people now safer.
28 people. Yes.
Because BoogieBumper
it's a safer place.
Is no longer on YouTube.
Yeah. So I got the second strike. And that banned me from live streaming. So the first strike I got 2 shows ago, which was about 2 months ago. Remember, someone got an itchy dick over something I said. I don't even know what. I don't even know what I did that time.
And you couldn't work out what you'd done that offended someone. Yeah. What was that? Is this racist? Is this sexist? Is this homophobic?
that strike was for inciting violence or hatred for whatever reason. And I have no idea what they're referring to.
Work out where the violence was. That's right. Yeah. Yes.
Because look, inciting violence or hatred is not really something I do, you know. It's really just sarcastic comments.
I've known you for 35 years. I've never heard much hate speech come out of your mouth.
I'm really not a hating kind of guy. Yeah. I just don't care that much about what you do, you know. So I find it amusing. Yeah, that's right. Your personality is too lesser fucks given. Yes.
To give hate speech.
That's right.
That would involve effort. You know what I mean?
That's it.
I couldn't be a racist or a hater, but fuck it. Too much work for that.
I'm literally so cynical. I'm so cynical. It's impossible for me to be passionate enough about any particular group to hate them.
To hate them, exactly.
You know what I mean? So anyway, I'm now a hate speech guy. So I got the second strike, and the way it works, Greeno, is if I had have got another strike, a third strike within 90 days, they delete the channel. They ban you completely.
We can't have that.
Well, no, I thought, fuck them. So my approach to these things was, I'm not going to let them take it away. I'll burn it down myself. So I went in and deleted every single video and off YouTube, and then that's it. I'm not streaming there anymore. But the channel remains, and now it's like, well, you can't kick me off now because there's literally no videos there.
Yeah, exactly.
So, you know. And it's just going to sit there now, and that'll be fine too. But yeah, it was bye YouTube. See you later. So yeah, there you go. Awful, bigoted BoogieBumper finally gone from the internet, and YouTube's safer place for it. And I will just, I just want to point out too, Greeno, that because I believe in safety, and I tweeted this out the other day, your boy won't be on YouTube anymore since catching another strike. And because I believe in keeping you safe, I'll only be on the other platforms from now on.
Nice, Gary!
Okay. You know where that other place and the new one.
The other 17 other options you can go to listen to the show. Spot on. Podcast still available from last week if anyone listens to hate speech.
Yeah. Oh, the podcast is still available. The Twitter video is still available. The Rumble replay is still available. The D-Live replay is still available. So it's out there.
Just check it. If I want to get myself a little bit of a dabble of hate speech, I can go and find it on the podcast.
I mean, YouTube really is now just the creche of the internet. I think it's. Look, I still use it a lot. I still watch because there's a lot of stuff on YouTube that I like. Don't get me wrong. But
I use YouTube as my sleeping material, to be fair, sir.
Yeah. So, but I mean, it's fine for that. You know what I mean? Cooking videos or video game videos. Yeah, that's fine.
Sure.
But if you want any,
I can watch as I'm going to sleep. Everyone's a winner.
Yeah. But if you want anything adult, and again, I think the problem is it's.
Well, can we pause there? When we're saying adult, I mean like donkey shows and shit.
Yeah. Yes, of course. Yeah. Adults on donkeys. Yeah. Like I even literally said in that episode. Like, I'll find it and I'll put it on.
Sorry, quick, don't mean to interrupt. Michael Nisa just got another wicket. First wicket.
There you go.
First wicket gets a nick. We did the exact same thing last time Michael Nisa played a test. We kept on interrupting the show because we look up like Michael Nisa had taken a wicket.
Okay. Well, fucking settle down, Mike, would you? We're trying to do a show here.
Yeah, we're trying to do a show here.
Yeah.
For American listeners, Michael Nisa, Australian cricketer. There's cricket being played, test match right now. We get distracted. It happens.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah.
I can't even remember what I was talking about.
Doesn't matter.
Michael fucking Nisa.
taking
no.
pink ball test wickets. It's fantastic.
No, what I was going to say is I'll find the clip of the show and I'll put it out on Twitter so you can see what I mean. I even literally said during the episode that got me kicked off YouTube, the problem, literally, quote, the problem is someone out there is going to watch this and not really understand where I'm coming from. And, you know, they're going to get offended and, you know, they're not going to be able to figure out, more or less, they're not going to be able to figure out that, you know, I'm making sarcastic comments about it. It's not good enough to be lighthearted about it either. You have to be as outraged as they are. Otherwise, you're the fascist. You know what I mean?
There's no grey area anymore.
No.
It's either you're black or you're white.
Yes, it's binary. Exactly.
Yeah, there's no middle ground. You can't be like,
no.
whatever.
The only option is agree or fight. That's all they accept in their programming. Is you either agree with them or you fight them. You know. Yeah. And I don't want to do either. So you know, I guess I'm not welcome on YouTube anymore. So
it's all good.
Yeah, see you later.
That's all right.
Nice, Gary.
You made you made a very good point in the pre-show chit chat with our seventh listener, Stephen Babb, where you're like, the irony of this whole situation is anything that you've done on your show at any point over the years is less offensive than what I generally say on this program week after week.
Yes.
Yet our show, all good. We're fine because we don't do hate speech, which is generally offensive.
Yeah, no, Google. Greeno has said some fucking outlandish things on this program, even back when we were on the radio. And I'd say during the ad breaks, mate, you can't say that. Yeah, you're not allowed to say that on the radio.
That's the thing. You've got 28 listeners. We've only got 7 here. So
you can risk it more. Yeah.
We can risk it because no one's going to look at us and be like,
hey. BE from the UK and listener number 7 joining us in the YouTube chat.
Nice.
There we go. We've got the YouTube chat happening. This is fucking. Have we ever had a YouTube chat?
No, I guess now that I'm not there anymore, there's space for the starting block to blossom.
It's now a safe space for people to be able to converse.
That's right.
Now the BoogieBumper has been stricken from the YouTube channel. Well, I'm excited about that. That's sensational.
Yeah, it's YouTube's a safer place now. So all you cunts out there, get on this fucking chat and listen to these 2 dickheads do their fucking show. How do you like that? Yep.
There we go.
Safe. Safety.
The only person I know, and once again,
by the way, Hitler's bad. Okay, just so you know.
The irony of the situation: the only person I know that comments on our YouTube channel, Dr. Climate Abortion.
Dr. Climate Abortion.
Nice,
Gary. Who last week said
he only cares about baseball, though. Really?
Yeah, but you know, he wants to know the voicemail. He wants to be able to he wants a block voicemail where people can leave a message and we can chat about it. Similar to like what was it? Periscope a week late.
Periscope a week late. But I mean, can't you just do like a little clip or something and send it to us? You know, record your own voice and send it to us and we'll play it then. Why do I have to set up a fucking voicemail? You know, you could just record something and send it to me. That'll do, you know.
Again, effort. Effort.
Yeah. What do I want to, that's something I have to check. And what am I going to check every day to see if you've sent me a voicemail or not? Then I become the weird one, you know.
Yeah. And once again, to be fair, Damo doesn't even read the rundown.
I don't.
Like, so
I barely read my emails. You know, it's not interesting.
I have to nudge him. I'm like, hey, don't forget to check your email. Like, there's a rundown in there. I'll put it together. And then, hey, no worries, I've looked at it. And then I get to the show. Like, what have we got tonight? And I'm like, all right. Did you read the rundown? Nah, I didn't look at it.
And he has to nudge me by sending me a text message, which I probably won't look at for a couple of days either. You know?
Couple of days anyway.
So he needs to nudge me on Tuesday to read the email on Friday.
And I haven't sent yet. Just in advance, knowing it'll take you 3 days to read the text message, to then look at the email.
Correct.
Just get it. You get ahead of it. I like it.
That's right.
Should we do Damo? Big week. Big week. I want to put it out there because this doesn't happen very often. But Greeno puts the hot stove.
Yes.
In the first segment.
Yeah, I was wondering about this, and I don't recall this being discussed at our pre-show meeting or our approval meeting for the rundown. So that's a little concerning that this was kind of executived in.
This was executive in by the rundown producer, i.e. me. Yeah. So last week we talked about the issue with the stove not getting enough heat because we left the window open a bit too much, and the wind that was coming in from the southerly was causing issues with the pilot light, and then there was not enough heat. So
could have shut the window, Greeno. Let's be honest here.
100%. And that was a rookie error by myself. I should know this after doing 6 seasons of the fucking hot stove on this show.
That's a lot of stoves.
So last week I shut the window, turned the burner up. Now what I did as well is bit of a cheat on the hot stove for this particular week.
Did you really?
Like whack the kettle on the boil, all right? Whack the kettle on the boil for the kettle on the boil.
What is this segment?
The whole segment is the intro. Go with it. We've been doing this segment. We've been doing this joke for 6 years. Just fucking roll with it. So with the kettle on the boil, kettle's fucking up to the brim.
Good. Oh, you got one of those old-fashioned kettles that whistles, dude.
Kettle's a whistle. That's right.
Jesus, where'd you get that from? A garage sale or something?
Cash converters.
Cash converters.
So
where it was sold as brand new kettle.
$6.
State-of-the-art whistling technology.
It's beautiful.
Yep. Never miss another hot cupper again.
Topped up the stove with the boiling water, which is a bit of a cheat, but that's fine.
Yeah.
Then, as a double down, because of the issue with the window being open and the pilot light not quite inflaming,
That's
and
right.
then there was also the issue I found out also later after the fact, the pot was not completely over the burner.
That'll do it. Yeah.
Bit side burner, so I had left-hand side burning nicely, right-hand side not so much. Had a bit of a ripple bubble, no good.
Yeah, I've got a really big fry pan, Greeno, and sometimes it's really like I've got one of those burners that's actually 3 burners, so you can put on like the middle one, the inside one, the middle one, and then the outer one, and all 3 of them, you know. And I only ever really use 2, and that's if I want to flash fry something. That's hot enough.
100%. I only use 2 myself.
Yeah, I reckon 9 times out of 10, I don't have the fry pan over the circles perfectly. You know what I mean? It's a bit off to the side. And it's like, why don't I notice that when I'm doing it, you know?
I do notice it when I'm like, why is this bit of fish way cooked and this one's not?
Yeah.
And I'm like, because it's at halfway over. No,
but when you're standing over it, it looks perfect.
It looks sweet. You're just like, it's balanced, right? It's all good. But it's done. So anyway, put the lid on the pot with the boiling water to get it back up. And my word, did that fucking do the trick? Because this week on the hot stove was fucking Burko that we had.
Was it a boil over, Greeno?
It fucking boiled over.
It was a boil over.
It was a boil over because we had the winter meetings, which means all the big fuckheads are in there. They're meeting, they're trying to sign, they're trying to trade. It went fucking nuts this week. Over $1 billion was made this week. Let's have a look. Okay. And we start off with none other than
Are we going through the whole billion though? Or?
We are going through the whole billion, brother. Crazy Uncle Jerry DePoto got the week started.
Sorry, seems to be the hardest word.
He signed Seattle Mariners and Milwaukee Brewers are finalizing a trade that sent Jesse Winker and Abraham Toro to the Brewers for Colton Wong and $1.75 million. Now,
see, here I was thinking, all right, well, this first one's got to be the big one, and then it'll be worth like $700 million, and then
we're saving that for later.
We're through the billion already, but if we're going up in increments of 1.75, we'll be here all fucking night.
Okay. Let's just fucking hold your horses, right? Okay. So Crazy Uncle Jerry, he just traded away a player that was his big trade piece last year that he obtained.
Right.
So he traded for Jesse Winker last year. Yep. He shipped him off this year. God. That became his 139th trade with the Mariners.
Uncle Jerry DePoto's about as loyal as YouTube, Greeno.
100%.
He loves you one year, and then next year you're out the door.
Right, so the $1.75 million didn't tickle your fancy, Damo?
No. What else you got for me?
Justin
Kick it up a notch. I thought it was a boil over.
Here we go. Justin Verlander, 2 years, $86 million.
Okay, nice, Gary.
Nice, Gary.
But he's the best pitcher in the game, isn't he?
Yeah, he is this year. Yeah. $43 million a year, highest ever for a pitcher.
Okay.
Trey Turner, how does 11 years, $300 million with the Phillies sound?
There we go. Nice, Gary. Now we're working our way up the tally board.
Now we're going back down because the Guardians got 1 year, 2 years, $33 million for Josh Bell. Cody Bellinger, 1 year, $17.5 million with the Cubs.
Only $33 million. Only $17 million. Yeah.
That's it. Only Mitch Haniger, 3 years, $45 million to the Giants. Taiwan Walker, 4 years, $72 million to the Phillies. Jamison Tyon, 4 years, $68 million with the Cubs.
Gee, it's nice to see that we've fully recovered from the COVID years now, isn't it? Because the wages are getting right back up there again, aren't they?
That's it. Wilson Contreras, St. Louis Cardinals, 5 years, $87 million. Yep. Xander Bogaerts, 11 years, $280 million with the Padres. Yeah. Brendan Nimmo, New York Mets, in agreement with an 8 year, $162 million. David Robinson, in agreement to a 1 year, $10 million. And the fucking piece of resistance, Damo, to the fucking crazy hot boiling stove. Aaron Judge, 9 years, $360 million to the New York Yankees.
Nice, Gary.
That's on fucking hot stove this week, baby.
Yeah. he certainly had the year of he should be paying like a quarter of that money to the journalists of New York who wrote nothing but fucking Aaron Judge puff pieces all year to hype him up.
He should also be writing a big thank you note to MLB
for being the MVP.
No. For it turns out this week some investigations turned out they had juiced baseballs mainly in Yankee games,
Is that right?
which allowed him to hit more home runs.
Oh, what? The Yankees cheated? You don't say.
Who would have thought?
Yeah, never happens.
Yeah. But that got buried because everyone was talking about the fact he signed 9 years, $360 million. So they ignored the report about the fact that a lot of those home runs were hit with fucking very light baseballs.
Oh, look at this, Greeno. We've got a full house. We've got Mofo Storm fan and Jim N-Word joining us in the
Nice,
chat.
Gary!
We've got 4 of our 7 listeners in the chat at one time. This is unheard of, sir. This
Careful.
is like the old days.
Careful. We're inching up to that 28 listener threshold, which will get us kicked off YouTube, Greeno.
YouTube might be offended.
Yeah.
I will give a nice Gary to Aaron Judge because he knocks back
Nice, Gary!
at the start of this year, $215 million offer. And everyone's like, he's fucking insane.
Boston.
That was from the Yankees.
Okay.
They're like, there's no way he's going to make more than 215. That's a perfectly acceptable offer. He ended up making himself an extra $150 million with the year he had last year.
Yeah, good enough. And like I said, he can thank the journalists of New York, the sports journalists of New York, for at least a portion of that. Yeah, exactly. It was disgusting 100%. When Shohei Ohtani was doing what he does. All they wanted to talk about was fucking Aaron Judge.
Aaron Judge. There was a couple. There's a lot of baseball podcasts I listen to. There's a couple I had to stop listening to
because of the Aaron Judge dick suck.
Because of the Judge dick suck, I had to just turn it off. Yeah. And don't get me wrong, what he did last year was amazing. It was all very good.
Yeah, but it's only because he plays for the Yankees that he gets that treatment. That's the problem.
100% it was. Like Giancarlo Stanton, our man, my male body role model, who is built of granite. Yes. He hit 59 a few years back before he got traded to the Yankees. There was nowhere near the amount of dick suck that happened this year when he was in sight of getting 62 home runs.
Right. Yeah.
So, no good.
Well, it's Yankees players. They're, sports journalists. If you listen to them, all the greatest ever players are Yankees, and that's the way they see it. A guy can have a worse season. A guy can have a really good season. Let's say someone plays for like the Cardinals, Greeno, or something, right? Mm-hmm. And then he goes to the Yankees. He can have a worse season at the Yankees, and they'll say how much better he was just because he played at the Yankees. You know what I mean? Yeah. So, fuck the Yankees, mate.
Nice, Gary!
I'm going to give a shout out to @Miniature Reading talking about burner problems. They're confused.
Oh, yeah. That's the hot stove. Do you want to go over it again, Greeno? Or?
Should we cover the hot stove? So basically, the hot stove, I feel that something is missing when the MLB is talking about the off-season and the hot stove, as it's referred to, is the temperature.
Yes.
There's got to be more discussion about the temperature because it's they kind of like
critical element. See what I did there?
They overlook the critical element of the fact of how hot a said stove is week in, week out. Because otherwise, there's no point in talking about it as a hot stove.
That's right. Call it something else. Call it something relevant.
If you don't want to talk about the temperature, then don't call it a hot stove.
How hot is it? How hot is the stove?
They have to leave it to us to cover that aspect.
That's it.
We cover it with the burners, the explanation for the said heat of said stove.
Yeah. You know why we've got time? You know why we've got time to do the hot stove segment, Greeno? It's because we're not spending the whole show talking about Aaron fucking Judge.
Aaron Judge. No, exactly.
We've got time to talk about the important stuff, like how hot is the imaginary stove on which we base the metaphor of the hot stove.
Correct. Yeah. Exactly.
Critical.
It's a metaphor.
Yeah.
Damo, let's get away from metaphors. Let's talk reality. Let's talk a bit of story time if we can.
I like stories about piñatas.
So, something has been in the works at the Greeno house. Is we've been looking to have our roof has been said to be painted, repaired for almost a year now. We booked in the dude in January. He's like, look, could be a 3 to 4 month wait, pending weather. But we'll see how we go. I'm like, sweet. We'll be done by June.
To be fair, there was a lot of rain happening around. So he could have been pushed out at 2 months just from rain, really,
100% it could have. So I was expecting like May, June, worst case. And then we had all that rain and I was expecting like July, August. And then it got to like October and still, I'm like, still nothing. November, it happened. So it's excellent. Dude came in, made it all look schmick, fresh paint, looks all good.
Yep.
But what happens is, you know me, and it doesn't come across with this show, but I'm a bit of a perfectionist. So
Nice, Gary.
You don't fucking say forensic accountant.
This show is not a good example of my perfectionism, because this one is where I get to let loose. But with the house, I was looking at it, and the roof looks schmick, and the yard's looking nice. I put a lot of effort in that. But there's bits and pieces of the front aesthetic that I'm like, look,
room for improvement.
No one has painted this fucker since it was built 25 years ago. And if they did paint it, they put on one coat and it was the cheap shit. It was like, where's the discount bin? Just slap it on and we're good to go.
You know what it was? It was like a legitimate flip or something. So someone's like, let's just fucking whack a coat of paint on it to get a bit of street appeal, and then we're out of here. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And that was 25 years ago and it hasn't been touched since.
Yep.
So we're looking at that, and I said to the wife, I'm like, look, we don't have much money with the interest rate rise, but it's frustrating me that everything looks nice except for these things that, there's peeled off paint and looks shit. Let's get it sorted. We'll buy the paint. We'll paint it ourselves. We're going to be all good.
Now let me interrupt the story.
I like stories about pinatas.
I dislike painting immensely, and it's not the act of doing the painting. It's the fact that no matter how hard I try, it'll never be good enough for whoever's around me. They'll be like, your brush stroke here, you missed that there. So I don't bother now. I'm like, no, fuck you. Go and get a professional to do it. And that's the way we approach these things. But there's also the convenience factor of it, Greeno, because painting inside the house is hard enough. Now you're taking on the painting on the outside of the house.
Correct.
So where the comments would normally be from family members attacking me, saying you could have done that better, you could have done this, why didn't you tape that off? You're instead going to have straight. Yeah, it's going to be like when you're fixing the engine in the driveway and all the guys start hovering around the fucking car, Greeno, pointing things out like, when was the last time you changed the carby out, mate? When was the last time you cleaned your spark plugs? Looks like there's a bit of build up there. It's like, fuck off, mate. I didn't ask for help. And so you're now going to be getting the same thing with the painting, Greeno. They're just going to stand there and go, oh, yeah, how come you went with that colour? You doing anything else with it? Or, oh, yeah, what kind of paint's that? Yeah, what kind of brush you using, mate? Oh, yeah, look, I've got these rollers, I picked them up down the store for $20. They're pretty fucking good, You're going to have to go through all of that. So
I like stories about pinatas.
Thankfully, I didn't have to deal with that because, you know me, antisocial, no neighbour wants to speak to me. So that works out good. Now, what I did have to deal with, though, is obviously the fact that the outdoor painting that did need to be done was at a height. So I had to buy myself a ladder. So I got the ladder sorted.
See, it's already started. You think, I'll just buy the paint and do it myself. It's like, no, you need a special brush. You need a ladder. You need to get a drop sheet. You need to get all this stuff.
Well, thankfully, my old man was a good bloke. He's got years and years worth of painting material. So
every old man does, Greeno. Every old guy. Every old guy, I reckon, I'm going to say every guy over 60, you go into their shed, there's screws that they haven't used since the early 80s and tins of paint that you would need a jackhammer to open because they're so fucking dry around the rim, you know what I mean?
100%.
Saving them for 30 fucking years, the tins of paint. The paint has eaten through the tin and is now leaking out the bottom of it if you pick it up.
It's eroded outside.
Yes.
It is still there.
Yeah. Hang on, honey. You never know when we might want to do another room up in that pastel purple that we got in 1973. You know what I mean? You never know.
You never know. So whatever the old man's place, I'm like, look, I need a drop sheet, I need a roller, blah, blah, blah. I come home with 2 tubs worth of fucking shit that's been in my dad's garage shed for, like you said.
So you didn't even buy new paint, like pick a color or anything. It's like, we'll see what the old man's got backed up in the shed and take the extras.
I bought the painting materials. The paint myself I had to buy. So that was all fine. So I grabbed all that, saved a whole bunch of money there. Very good. So then I get home, I had to buy a ladder because we're doing it was all like upper aesthetic, right? Downstairs we're sweet, but upper aesthetic is where the issue was with the chipping paint.
Yeah, your little trims on the roof, the little wooden trim that runs underneath, all that kind of stuff.
It had to all be done. Yeah. So we get up there and it seems like a fun little activity until I realise that my whole front area is not level. So then I have to make sure.
Gary!
the wife is like, so then we're finding like little blocks of wood that I can put under one leg of a fucking 2 meter ladder that I'm climbing up in order to be able to tape up and fucking paint and get the angle and do all this and touch up. So
once upon a time, a guy in a wheelchair came to our school, and this is exactly how his story started. When he spoke to us at
100%.
lunchtime.
He's like, got up on a ladder, get some painting done.
Yeah.
So get up there, get
I
it
thought
done.
I'll just stick a bit of wood under one of the legs. What's the worst that can happen?
100%. So I did that, managed to survive, but literally 8 hours it took me and my wife to get up, down the ladder, up, down.
Greeno,
up,
I don't want to interrupt
I
the
like
story,
stories
Greeno.
about pinatas.
But we do have Dr. Climate Abortion in the chat. He's joining us.
Have we got 5 of our 7 listeners in the chat simultaneously?
I can't keep count, mate. They're rolling in. I think
we're
5,
at
6, who knows?
This is unbelievable.
Full house.
We almost have a full house. We could have the block Christmas party right here because we've almost got a full house.
And again, I'm telling you, do we have any admins in the chat? Because if we get over 7, I want you to start banning people, okay? Because otherwise, YouTube
can't have more than 7.
That's right. Otherwise, if we have more than 7, YouTube will deem this channel as an influencer and ban us for inciting hate speech. Yeah, that's right. We can't have that.
Yeah. So up and down the ladder for all day 1. Day 2, similar thing. Got to get the second coat on, man.
Yes.
Got to make it all look all good, tidy it all up. Up, down the ladder, up, down the ladder. Day 3, I can barely remember what is going on here. Now, I've been doing a weekly weigh-in, right? Where just keeping an eye on the weight because I feel like during like Christmas period, let things get a little bit out of hand. A lot of beers consumed, maybe a little bit less exercise. However, last week was a fucking big exercise week, right? But I jump on the scale. 2.5 kilos put on.
Oh, leg muscle, Greeno. Up and down the ladder all day.
Quads and glutes, baby. That is fucking literally nothing but quads and glutes, 2.5 kilos from going up and down a ladder incessantly for 8 hours a day to paint the outside up and down frame.
So let me guess what happened next. You went into your wife's wardrobe and picked out a pair of short cut-off jeans and then got right back up on that ladder, didn't you?
100%.
In the summer. Shirt off, the quads and the glutes.
Within quick time, I had the pants, the high pants. Remember the old Richard Simmons gear? Those shorts he used to wear?
Yes.
Simmons? We'd whack those on.
They flare right out. So just a pair of work boots and Richard Simmons shorts, and that's it.
Off, and then a glazed as well. Whacked a bit of oil on the glutes, on the quads.
So they glisten.
So they glisten up on the ladder for any ladies walking past.
Or guys wearing an Anthony Hardaway NBA shirt.
NBA shirt, either way. Good time to go to a break.
Really? Because you really got to kind of give me more of a lead in.
Do you like your novelty comedy songs organic? Handmade with painstaking care, put into every note? Well, look no further than Irrational Times. Using only the finest instruments to create an experience that your ears will thank you for later. Irrational Times attempts to elevate the whimsy to a desirable level. New songs and sketches every week, so check it out.
There's a place that we can go to watch old things. All the warm, fuzzy member berries it brings. It's a special little spot tucked away on D-Live. Enjoy the joy of Pessy. Campy old movies and old cartoons. We hope to see you over there very soon. It's our special little spot tucked away on D-Live. Enjoy the joy of Pessy. When we were kids and there wasn't any school, we'd sit and watch all the best cartoons, eating cereal until it was noon. We never thought that 30 years later it'd still be cool. Saturday night and cheesy movies, the ones that used to show us boobies. It's our special little spot tucked away on D-Live. Enjoy the joy of Pessy. Enjoy the joy of Pessy. Enjoy the joy of Pessy.
Now with less than 3% sport content. It's the starting block on TAVShow.com.
Yes! Welcome back to the block, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Follow us on Twitter at the starting block, wrong way, drop K at the end. Follow myself at BoogieBumper. Get in now because all the Nazis apparently coming back to Twitter. I look, and you know, got to put it out there, Greeno, in an effort to get some more Twitter followers. Hey, I was recently banned off YouTube for hate speech, mind you. Now watch them come flocking in,
Nice,
Greeno.
Gary!
Watch all the new followers come flocking to my account now. Hey, you know, I was kicked off YouTube for hate speech, right? Really? This guy sounds cool.
Check him out.
Check him out. And then they'll see me tweeting about, you know, I don't even know the garbage I put out there half the time. pointless drivel it is most of the time. You know, so
it's fine though. But people, as long as people check it out, we're all good.
Yeah,
that'll show naughty old YouTube.
Yeah. Jim N-word is apparently still banned on Twitter, even though Elon Musk has taken. That's how bad Jim N-word was banned off Twitter in the first place.
Elon won't let him back.
No, apparently they've let all the Nazis back on, and Jim's still sitting there going, "What about me?" And they're like, "I don't think so."
You stay in the naughty corner, please, Jim.
That's right. Too offensive for the Nazis. Holy shit.
Everyone else is back except Jim M. I kind of hope that Jim M-word's claim to fame is the fact that he's the only account banned on Twitter.
He's the they let Donald Trump back on. It's him and Alex Jones. That's it. Jim and Alex. They're the only ones not allowed back.
Only ones. Yeah, they can have their Christmas party. Yeah. Damo, our boy Uniday reporter Troy sent us this tweet the other day. And it was a very lovely idea, and we don't like doing sentiment much on this show, but this one was kind of it was very nice. It was a Twitter post by I don't know who this dude is, but he
Sage
said,
Greeno by Mellum Jr. He's a sage though, so I think that's him saying he knows a lot of wisdom and stuff.
He gets it. He understands. He's deep.
Deep guy, yeah.
He wrote, when my son was born, I created an email address for him. Every achievement and photo taken is sent to that email. Yep. When he's old enough, he will get the password and we'll have all those memories. Sharing this idea for those like to do as well. Oh, man, that's fucking lovely, man. Like, fucking, why didn't I think of that? That's a fucking great idea. Yeah. Like, really, really good. Like, you can kind of have that collection of thoughts, and then they'll get to like the 18th birthday and go, hey, man, check this shit out.
Here's
like,
the login.
Yep. Here's the login. Like, jump on in. And then, but I thought about then the reality of life because that seems good. Because if you did that in a photo album, like you'd have this beautiful album.
Yes. Yeah.
But if you hand your son like an email address and go, here it is, it'd be like, Dad, like, why do I need to enlarge my penis?
Nice, Gary.
What? Like, why am I getting emails from trip.com?
Why are you giving me the login to an inbox that's filled with EB Games catalogs?
100%. 7 billion emails of spam and maybe 400 photos.
Gee, thanks for the present, Dad. Now I can really become a member of the Woolworths fucking frequent buyer club.
Nice, Gary.
Get 6% off my eggs.
Yeah.
That's good stuff.
100%. So what seems like a beautiful idea in theory.
You have to get through all the spam.
You got to get through the spam. The kid's going to spend the next 18 years having to delete all those emails.
That's right.
He's probably just going to get an auto mode and just delete.
He's going to have to set up filters, Greeno, and all sorts of stuff.
Block, and it's no good. Then what's going to happen is you're going to give him the password. He's going to fucking forget to write it down.
That's right. Yeah.
And then you have to reset password. This is going to get sent to your email, and by that stage you're going to be in your 70s. You're not going to even look at it. You're like, what's his email account? And then suddenly he's not going to be able to get the access to the account either.
That's right.
Once again, good idea in theory. However, practicality in the real world
doesn't really work.
Not so much.
There you go. Unless he really does want to enlarge his penis, then you're doing him a favor.
Well, then you're helping him out.
Yeah. Exactly.
Damo, we dealt with the cricket saga, 4.5, 5 years ago now.
Which saga was that? The ball tampering Australia cheated one?
Yeah, that's the one. And look, we thought that was now behind us because Steve Smith is the captain for this particular test. Yep. It's like, well, all is forgiven. The ban's been done. Yep. However, Dave Warner was appealing his lifetime ban of leadership for his involvement in that particular scandal. Now, something that hasn't been pointed out, and like we'll get to the drama and the bullshit in a second. Something that hasn't been pointed out in the media or any point through all this is leadership is an interesting thing, right? To me, a leader is a leader, right?
Okay.
A leader is someone who doesn't.
That's fairly fucking obvious, Greeno. But anyway, carry on.
What I'm saying is a leader doesn't need a title to lead.
Okay.
So David Warner can lead his team at any point he wants by being a spiritual leader.
You're saying in attitude, lead in attitude.
An attitude leader. Okay. He can sit there and coach the young kids as much as he wants.
But Greeno, that's not as satisfying as a title.
To do right is to get a fucking nice little label to go, you're White's captain.
Greeno, how do I expect my ego to be stroked when I can't force people to refer to me as captain? Greeno?
As captain, exactly. So once again, the point of the matter is his leadership ban is a leadership title ban.
Right.
There's nothing stopping this fuckwit from leading in it. He can do the exact same job. Yeah, he can do the exact same job he wants to do as a leader in inverted commas.
I guarantee you're only calling him a fuckwit because he's not scoring runs at the moment.
No, Dave is fucking. This also got me thinking. Yeah. David Warner is such a fuckwit that it makes me think, how bad was Brad Hodge behind the scenes? Because Dave keeps on being let back into the team. Despite being this much of a knob, that Brad Hodge only played, a dozen tests, averaged 60, scored a 200, and was never allowed back in the team.
Yeah, well, I mean, Michael Clark was captain. He was a bit of a knob too. So, Kadich had him picked, didn't he?
Early? Yeah, no, Kadich was right over him. Kadich did a job on Davey.
Yes. Let's let Kadich back into the dressing room.
Now, there's a leader.
Nice,
there's
Gary.
A true leader who's the fucking Cap called Cat, who would literally choke out the future Australian captain.
That's right.
Because he wanted to fuck off in the middle of a team song to go hang out with his girlfriend.
That's a story for the Americans in the audience, that the Australian Test the Australian Test cricket, that people say in this country that being captain of the Australian cricket team is the second most important job in the country behind the Prime Minister, basically.
Yeah, our version of the president, correct.
Yes. So the future captain of the Australian team, was it Lara at the time?
Yeah, Lara. It was
So he was dating the girl who was famous from the tourism ad, "Where the bloody hell are you?" at the time, and he wanted to leave. And now officially, after a test match, if you win, the Australians get together, they have beers and they sing a song, and it's really not over until that happens, kind of thing.
Yeah, that's the end of your work day.
That's
after
right.
The song is done, correct.
That's right. And Michael wanted to fuck off early so he could go and fuck his girlfriend, which, he's a young guy. That's probably what they want to do.
They're all 23. You got a hot model girlfriend.
Yeah, he wants to go and do his thing.
Had a big day,
But he tried to leave early, and Simon Kadich, one of the senior players in the team, grabbed him by the throat and slammed him up against the locker and said, "You're not fucking going anywhere." And when Michael Clark became captain, miraculously, Simon Kadich wasn't in the team anymore.
Until he set, 5 years later, like an all-time Shield record.
That's right.
For most ever runs, and they had no choice.
They had no choice but to put him back in because he was so fucking good.
Yeah.
So, it took him 5 years in the wilderness, and he just kept scoring, he kept being the best, head and shoulders better than everybody else in the country, and they wouldn't pick him for Australia. And after 5 years, at 35 or 36 years old or something, mind you, they were like, okay, let him back in.
I tell you what Simon Kadich didn't do, though. He didn't fucking whinge to the media like David Warner.
No, he didn't.
I want my you've been banned from all leadership roles, i.e. inverted commas title.
Yeah. Well, let's see what David's got to say. Let's see this report.
As David Warner was preparing to head into the middle of the Adelaide Oval, his manager was delivering a bouncer. Speaking on radio, James Erskine said the Aussies were ordered to cheat by cricket bosses after a thumping loss to South Africa in 2016.
Warner said that we've got to reverse swing the ball, and the only way we can reverse swing the ball is basically by tampering with it. So they were told to do it.
Erskine hinting at more bombshells to come.
I don't know if I don't know. Do you believe that, Greeno? I don't.
Look, yeah, I believe that probably happened, but at the same time, this happened 5 years ago. All you have to do is just shut your fucking mouth, finish out your career.
Yeah. He hasn't got long to go. He's probably got another year or two. Yeah.
He's 37 or now, I think 36, 37. He's only got 1 or 2 years left. All he had to do, and he's done a pretty good job since he came back from the ban, just shut your fucking mouth and just play cricket. That's all you need to do.
Yeah.
Like, you're on the wrong side of it from the publicity side. This is making him look more like a dick. Like, like he wants to challenge a ban. Who's going to make him captain? He's 37 years old. And barely, like, at the moment, to be fair, is not really warranting his spot in the team. He's got the runs in the bank that means he'll be there for a little bit more.
Yeah, he's got legacy. On his side.
Like, why would you make a 37-year-old captain? Yeah. Like, it makes no sense from a test side. Maybe he's angling more to, like, the BBL, and that's fine.
Yeah, I think that's fair enough.
BBL is not real cricket anyway. Fucking make anyone captain. It doesn't matter. Like, the result is not going to change.
Yeah.
But it's just like, just shut your mouth, man. Finish out your career. Like, you've done some dodgy shit. There's a lot of dodgy Davey shit that hasn't been released, which I can see happening with Cricket Australia's media, like, sneaky stories being put out to certain reporters.
But it'll be once he retires, though. That's the thing.
Yeah, they can't do it. Like, I know some shady, dodgy Dave stories from cricket people.
Well, you'll remember Greeno was like, you remember it was like all of a sudden, I reckon it was like maybe 7 or 8 years ago, there was a whole effort in sports media to change the image of David. Do you remember? It became he became a totally different guy, like, overnight. Yeah. And they started talking about what a great team man he is, and he's a family man, and it was puppies and babies.
It was wars everywhere, man.
They're trying to say how smart he is when everyone knows he's dumb as dog shit. You know,
that's all you need to do.
And look, he might be really smart at cricket. You know, he might really understand cricket. But that's different. And they were like, oh, he's a genius. He's fucking. And it was like, hang on, where does all this come from? And then slowly, the image. So at some point, a PR firm was engaged, I think. You know?
Well, about the same time that he hooked up with his now wife.
Yes, that's right. And at that time, he had a bit of Michael Slater's about him at that time. He was starting to get a bit, with the Ferrari, and, he was starting to get a little bit showman. So I wonder if they were like, you don't want to go down the Slater route, No, we don't
want that. And also, you got to remember, his wife had to do a big kind of character turn when it came to, like, in the media. So I think they had the same kind of manager, same media outlet, same PR firm involved for both of them. And they're like, look, if we can turn around the image of someone who got fucked by a footballer in a toilet, like, we can change their image pretty quickly.
This is what I'm talking about. This is why. Greeno says far more outlandish shit on this show than I do. Yet I'm the one that's banned off YouTube. And Greeno's shooting from the hip,
What did I say that was unfactual there?
Oh, mate, it's not about factual. It's just the manner in which you say it. I didn't say anything unfactual either. Hitler really was, Hitler really did care about animals. He was an animal activist. He really was a feminist. He really was an artist, Also factual. By the way, Hitler is bad.
Nice,
Hitler's bad. I don't want to go so bad from YouTube.
Hitler and David Warner. Yep.
Let's get to some Statmans, Damo.
Statman.
I'm a Statman.
No run!
No run!
Kicking ass, Manus Labuschagne. Scoring 200 and 100 in the same test.
Yep.
Manus joins Doug Walters, Sunil Gavaskar,
Doug Walters. I didn't even know that. Dougie Walters.
Greg Chappell, Graham Gooch, Brian Lara, Kumar Sangakkara, and Manus are the only 8 people that have ever scored a 200 and 100 in the same test.
Gee, Graham Gooch was a good player. We saw the end of his career where he was pretty rubbish and old. He was like 40 years old, But gee, he was a good player, wasn't he?
He was a good player, 100%. The only one on that list I don't recognise is Lawrence Rowe.
Yes.
But that was because 1972 he played for the West Indies.
Yeah, there you go. Yet we know Doug Walters, obviously.
Yeah, but that's different. Oh, I suppose we do know Sunil Gavaskar as well. Yeah, whatever happened to Lawrence Rowe? We'll have to look into that.
Yeah.
He might have been like a one-hit wonder.
Well,
also,
at least a two-hit wonder because he hit 214 and 100 not out.
Exactly. For one test, you know what I mean?
Yes.
You look fabulous in this suit. You get that reference?
No.
No, you don't. All good. That's you ever seen that movie, That Thing You Do?
Is that some punsy rom-com that you get into?
No, it was sorta.
Is that the Oneaters?
Yeah,
Every day keep doing that thing you do.
100%.
Yeah.
That one.
Okay, so what's the suit referencing?
Oh, well, because every time, because they're one-hit wonders, and every time you see Tom Hanks, he always says the same line, because they send him out on all these different festivals. You look amazing in that suit. You look wonderful in that suit. And that's the running gag throughout the entire movie.
Right.
Like, you look great in that suit.
Okay.
Same line over and over.
Okay.
Probably would have been better without the explanation. Probably could have moved on from it.
Well, we have to unearth these things. So.
We do. That's why we dig deep.
Yep.
We could have done this pre-show, off-show,
Should have done
post-show.
a lot of stuff pre-show going by tonight's efforts. We've had our biggest audience of all time. We've spent 80% of the show talking about fucking cricket that nobody cares about. That's how good we are. You're on the program.
I disagree. I think we spent maybe 12% talking cricket, and we spent 80% talking about a stove.
Look what's on the screen now, though.
We're not talking about it, are we? We're talking about the stove.
True. We'll just leave it there and talk about other stuff.
Yeah. Marnus as well also became the second fastest Australian to ever. Oh no, second fastest ever, I think, to get 3,000 runs in Test cricket, behind only Don Bradman.
Jim Edward in the chat, Greeno. Jokes are funnier when you explain them, Greeno.
100%, isn't it? Isn't it good?
Isn't that how it works?
You get it? You get it?
Yeah, you get it. Look at this guy. He gets it. Yeah.
He gets it. We all get it.
Yeah, Marnus Labuschagne, fastest to 3,000 runs. And it just, so 51, yes, so he's equal second. But look at Bradman, man, 33 innings.
Bradman, that's just fucking ridiculous, the Bradman.
Put it this way, so 100 years ago, that's right, 100 years ago, when the game was arguably far harder to play because of uncovered wickets and all that kind of stuff.
Having to go to the other countries by boat.
Yes, it took them a month to go on tour because they have to go by boat. And so 100 years ago or thereabouts, a guy named Sir Donald Bradman, his records still stand, and it's not even close. It's just not fucking close. He's scored the same amount of runs almost twice as fast as the next guy.
Yeah.
It's just I don't know if there's anyone in any sport who has a comparable record.
No, it doesn't exist. It's the equivalent of Babe Ruth, but Babe Ruth was twice as good as Babe Ruth was. Because Babe Ruth is this kind of mystical figure that no one can ever achieve.
Yep.
But Don Bradman basically, let's refer to hundreds as home runs, right?
Mm-hmm.
Consider whatever Babe Ruth's home run total was. What was it, 60? Imagine he hit 120.
120.
Because that's what the Don did. Imagine Babe Ruth's average. I don't know what it is. I think it's about 312 off the top of my head. Let's say Babe Ruth hit 600 for his career. That's what Don Bradman did. There's no one in any sport, even Gretzky, that no one is ever going to touch Don Bradman's records, where Ovechkin is now he's 100 goals within Gretzky's goal record. There's no other sport that someone is so far ahead. There's people that are no one's ever going to beat this particular record. The Don is fucking so far ahead of everyone. It's not funny.
We thought the same about Roger Federer when he was flying, and now there's two guys who are just as good as him anyway.
But not even that. Roger would have had to double his major talent. He would have had to win
40 Grand Slams you'd have to win.
Yeah. He'd have to win 40 or 50 to be the equivalent of Don Bradman, which goes to show how good the Don is, and which also goes to point out how good Marnus is, because he's second on that list.
Yeah, there you go. Being second to the Don is about as good as you can ever get.
It's good. Yeah, even Brian Lara has been in the com box for this series. Is we just ignore Don, and then it's everyone else. That's the real record we're chasing. That wasn't bad for a West Indian accent, if I may say.
I don't know. I feel like you have to ham it up more. You know, we just ignore the Don, man. Wicked.
I think that's too far. Suddenly it turns into
Too
cool
far.
running.
Yeah, exactly. That's what you think of when you think of the West Indies, isn't it?
Your
Because
son,
Brian Lara doesn't really talk like that. He talks more like this. He's very, refined. But when I do a Brian Lara impression, it's going to be like, hey, light me off a spliff, man. Let's get fucking high out here, motherfucker. Wicked.
Yo, Sanka, we dead yet?
Sanka.
Kiss my egg.
All right, now we might get banned because I'm pretty sure that's racist, No,
that's just a cool runnings quote.
Cool
that's
runnings,
fine.
yeah. That's
fine. That's quotable. We might get copyright pinged, but aside from that,
you reckon the impression was that good? They won't know the difference.
It's almost like for like.
Obviously.
Sanka.
Yeah.
Very good.
I'm the best push cart driver in all of Jamaica, man.
I'm gonna go watch that movie tonight. But that's not rugby league day, Mo. It's good to have this back if I can.
Yes.
Now this one is deep. This one's levels, and I love not AFL.
The other one.
The other one.
What's the other one?
That one. So this is that's not rugby league. So this one is kind of like a 3-tier. This is almost Inception, but that's not rugby league.
Okay.
Because this one is beautiful.
Beautiful.
Is this the long version?
I think this is the short version.
But that's no.
That's the long version.
But that's no. Aye, it's delicious. But that's no.
That is the long version.
There's the goat.
And there's the goat, the rugby league goat. This headline we saw throughout the week: top jockey Tommy Berry. So this is a racing story, it seems.
Mm-hmm.
Charged over money, tips, exchanges. Oh, this is a juicy racing story.
Juicy.
How is rugby league going to get put in here?
Yeah.
With Jared Hayne. Oh, Jared Hayne. What the hell? This
Jared
is a
Hayne?
story. And wait, isn't he in prison for rape? Oh, wait. Jared Hayne's ex-butcher.
Ex-butcher?
Nice, Gary.
Did he break up with the butcher? How do you become an ex-butcher? I guess, yeah. And what if you wanted to smuggle in a couple of snags, Greeno?
Oh, yeah. They want to be stiff ones. So, let's get back through the headline. Top jockey Tommy Berry charged over money tips exchanges with Jared Hayne's ex-butcher.
Ex-butcher.
What? Like, why? That's a nice little sneaky, but that's the rugby league there.
Yes, very good.
Well done. Now, we like the Code Wars here in Australia, though.
I don't like the Code Wars. Idiots like the Code Wars.
Well, I'm not saying we like them for the purposes of this show because we point out the stupidity.
Yeah.
We don't give a fuck. Like, let's just enjoy all sport.
Yeah.
But that's not AFL popped up this week. And the AFL love to compare themselves to wider global sports, even though the game is only played in like 4 states of one country. But they love to remember when The Last Dance was released? They kept on trying to go, who's the AFL version of Michael Jordan?
Yes.
And just love promoting it. They can't help it. They can't even watch the World Cup in SEN TV, though, which is like the Melbourne version where they have to love talking about AFL.
Melbourne Sports Radio. Yep.
So this was during the World Cup. Let's have a listen.
I haven't watched a lot of...
So this is Simon O'Donnell. So this is cricket, but that's not AFL, basically.
Oh, that's Simon O'Donnell. I thought that was Andy Marr.
No, that's Simon O'Donnell, mate.
Lionel Messi over the journey.
You can't tell by the voice?
No, I can't.
I haven't watched a lot of Lionel Messi over the journey. And I watched a bit of EPL. And that's sort of where I
Did Lionel Messi ever play in the EPL?
No.
Okay.
He was signed by Barcelona. He was signed by Barcelona when he was like fucking 12 years old or something.
But this is a person who's paid to do sports radio. Am I correct in saying this?
Yes, but he's not saying that. He's literally saying that he hasn't really seen Messi because he watches the EPL. So he's acknowledging.
He watches the EPL.
No, yeah, he's like, I haven't really seen much of Messi because I only really watch the EPL.
Oh, okay.
I haven't watched a lot of Lionel Messi over the journey, and I watched a bit of EPL.
See,
and that's sort of where I finish. Just the presence he had out on that ground, I thought was stunning on Sunday morning, and I was trying to find an AFL comparison to Messi, not for the stardom of him, although he's probably close.
Oh.
And Scott Pendlebury came to mind because every time Messi got the ball...
Okay, look, I don't think he's close.
You dick!
I don't think he's close.
I can tell you who Lionel Messi is.
Yeah.
I know Lionel Messi. If I saw Lionel Messi in the street, I would know Lionel Messi.
Yeah.
If you ask me what country Lionel Messi played for, I can tell you that.
Well, yeah. Which country does he play for?
Argentina.
Okay. Which team does he play for?
I don't know. No, I didn't say that, did I?
No. I'm just trying to. So, which team does Scott Pendlebury play for?
No idea.
Collingwood. You knew that.
There we go.
You fucking knew that. You slimy little cunt.
You knew that.
Look,
I saw Scott Pendlebury in the street, I would not know him. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Look, to be honest, man, I get it, and it's silly in some, but I've got to put my hand on my heart here, and this may be a dick move. I don't know. Dick. But I have literally made the same comparison, like the exact same. And years ago, I reckon 5-6 years ago, I remember talking to a Collingwood fan who was also a football fan. So we liked soccer, and we were talking about the comparison between soccer and AFL, because there's a lot of comparisons in the way the defenses work and how they move the ball and stuff. And there's quite a few similarities that don't seem obvious at first. Yeah. And I remember exactly saying that Scott Pendlebury, the way he controls the game is like watching Lionel Messi, because Messi's thing is when he gets the ball, it's like everyone else moves half a second slower. And he's not fast though. You know what I mean? He thinks fast. So he makes everyone else around him look slow. And it's like he can move in slow motion, but they can't get near him. You know, it's like when he gets the ball, he's got so much time compared to everybody else, and the way he moves and stuff. So I have made literally the same comparison. So I guess that's a dick move for me.
That's a dick move for you, but I made the comment in the last one of the Badass Rugby League that was like Inception. Now this segment has become like Inception.
Why is that?
Well, now you're talking about the shit move that we're talking about. It's like a dream within a dream here.
Yes.
We're hanging shit on Simon O'Donnell, but you're talking about how you made the exact same thing. And I'm like, have I implanted something? Have I implanted a thought? Am I aware? I didn't realise.
So there you go. Lionel Messi. Right. But I never said that Scott Pendlebury was almost as famous as Lionel Messi, because that would be fucking idiotic.
That would be stupid.
That would be a silly thing to say. Yes.
That's it.
Yeah.
I told you I'd keep it short tonight, mate. Bit over an hour.
Yeah, look
We're
at
done.
that. We're out of here. Okay.
Plugs. You doing a show Sunday that might be banned from YouTube, or what's going on there?
No, I won't be on this week. Birthday celebrations, Greeno. The big 4-0.
Yeah, I was aware. I didn't know if you want to mention it.
Yeah, no, it's okay. I don't mind. I'm too old to care now, Greeno.
Yeah, fair enough.
So
the big boogie. Have we got a particular title for it? The big boogie bumper birthday baby celebration.
Boogie bumper birthday baby bumper baby birthday baby boy. I don't know. Fuck. I don't know. We're running out of bees.
No, we are running out of bees. Happy birthday, man. Enjoy your 40th.
Thank you, mate. Thank you for the present that arrived today. Some Schuffenhofer, which I'm sipping on right now. So.
Well, there's actually a story time behind that to end the show.
I like stories about pinatas.
Yeah. So I thought I'd be nice. I'm like, well, I'll try and put some thought into my boy's 40th. Like, I'll get I know what you like to do for your birthday, i.e., be fucking left alone.
Yes.
So I was like,
exactly 100%. Nice,
what do you like to do? Do you like fucking eating German sausages and drinking beer and fucking just being left alone?
That's right.
So I found this about 2 months ago. I found this amazing gourmet sausage pack. Right, they could get delivered to your home, and it had like 4 different types of German sausage. Had condiments. It had fucking German mustards. And fucking like biscuits and shit. I'm like, this is amazing. This fucking, we are done. Send it to my email account. I'm like, week of, I'm fucking sending this to my boy, and he's gonna have like fucking $100 worth of sausages just fucking smash down. It's gonna be a good time.
Fantastic.
He's gonna be happy for his birthday.
Yep.
So I get there, I fucking log on Monday, and I'm like, fucking, I'm gonna book in the thing. Sold out. I'm like, what the fuck do you mean you sold out? So I'm like, well, hang on, well, let's just fucking back this up. And then they had this option of like, notify me when available. I'm like, maybe they just don't have any stock today. Maybe they sold it over the weekend. We're all good. Yes. I'll get it to him for Sunday. We're fucking sweet. No dramas. Yeah. So I get a fucking ding on Wednesday morning.
Cutting it close.
Where I'm like, oh, sweet, the sausage is now available. That's after I'd already ordered the beers though. So I was like, oh, that's all fine. I'm like, we can double down. But then I jump on in, and they're like, now available, all good, blah, 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 blah. No, sold out again.
Wow. So they're that hot property that by the time it took you to log in, they were already gone again.
So then I log back on Thursday.
Yes.
And thought, no, we're good now. Now available, But anything ordered after Wednesday, apparently not going to be delivered till after Monday.
Right.
I'm like, well, there's no fucking point having birthday sausages 2 days after your birthday. It's fucking stupid. So unfortunately, you didn't get the fucking condiment pack, but I sent you the beers instead.
I appreciate it. Thank you, mate. That was very kind. Greeno, we should play this. Jim Enward sent this. I don't know if you've seen this before. Maybe not.
We sent it last year off memory.
Maybe. Jim Enward sent this through, and I play this whenever I give someone a birthday tribute on my show, so I guess it's fitting. So
you definitely played this last year.
Probably. Let's have a look. A traditional American birthday song, Greeno. Honey, honey,
So you played this on the pre-band BoogieBumper birthday celebration.
Probably. Yep.
When we had like 50 guests.
Happy birthday to Jenny. Happy birthday, Boogie. We have to wait for the backup vocals, Greeno. That's the key.
I can't believe this goes for 5 minutes.
It won't be today, but it does. Here we go. Happy birthday to BoogieBumper. Happy birthday to you. There you go. And the keyboard solo, Greeno.
Well, that's a synth. That seems like a synthesizer there. That's beautiful. There's some effects on that keyboard.
Oh, look at the drum machine. Look at them. Going off their tits, Greeno.
I like the double duty.
Yes.
I feel like they're the same people that are doing backup dancing that are doing the pom-poms.
That's right. I mean, some very artistic choreography going on there too, isn't it? Look at that guy rocking the Korg, Greeno. All right, that'll do. Thank you, Jim. It's very nice.
Very good. All right, guys. We'll see you next week.
Bye-bye.
We'll always be bosom buddies, friends, sisters, and pals. We'll always be bosom buddies. If life should reject you, there's me to protect you.
If I say that your tongue is vicious,
if I call you uncouth,
it's simply that.
Who else but a bosom buddy will sit down and tell you that